Before we begin this video, please click on subscribe, ring that notification bell, and like, comment, and share. You just bought your PlayStation 5 after a long time of waiting, and you turned on your TV, which is PlayStation 5 ready TV, and you finally pressed that button and you feel the PlayStation 5 firing up and getting ready to play some games, and you see the screen and you say, oh, well, whatever, and you make sure your PlayStation 5 is clean every day, and you look at it from the different angles and you appreciate how hard you've worked just to get it, the long queue and the many times of looking at the scalpers that try to charge you a lot of money and stuff. But you don't, you go to the settings and all of a sudden you go to screen and video just to make sure your HDR is on, but you get this weird settings, always on or on when supported, and you don't know which one to choose. So you're hesitating, on when supported or always on. What does it even mean? I don't know. But don't worry, I Dragon, will help you with your thing if you subscribe by clicking here or here. And yeah, let's do it, shall we? Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Dragon. In this video I'm going to show you which you should choose, the turn on when supported or always on. Now I'm going to explain which one you should choose and why. First, let me explain. HDR is high dynamic range. It's used in games that are supported to bring its full potential with the brightness and the colors and everything. However, when you're playing a game or watching a content or a movie that doesn't support HDR, it's going to make it worse. And it's gonna make it less bright. So what you should do is that when you get to screen and video, you should choose on when supported. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about when it doesn't work they made it to. So examples of games that support it are Uncharted 4, The Last of Us Part 2, Uncharted The Lost Legacy, Demon's Souls, and Spiderman Miles Morales. Well, let me show you using HDR how the game looks. Actually, before that, I'm going to show you GTA 5, because GTA 5 also does not support HDR. It's an SDR game. So I'm going to pause the video, wait for it to load. I'm going to show you why you should not turn on HDR while playing GTA 5. So this is GTA 5 with HDR turned off, because this game does not support HDR. It does look nice, the colors look vibrant, everything looks bright as it should be, and nothing looks like nothing stands out. That's what I'm trying to say. It just looks natural, right? Well, how about we change it to, instead of on when supported, we're going to change the HDR mode to always on, and we're going to come back and see what's gonna happen for the game. As you can see here, I'm going to change it to always on. Now it's gonna turn black because it switched from SDR to HDR. It forced it. Now let's see the results. Well, behold the results. it looks less brighter, or you could say dimmer, and the colors are washed out. It might not be as noticeable on YouTube as it does on real life. So you gotta try it out on your own if you have a display which supports HDR. The TV that I'm using right now is the Sony X900H, so it might differ from one TV to another. Keep that in mind, alright? Also, yeah, it depends on what kind of settings you've set for your color and saturation, whatnot. You've got local dimming, you've got other things that play into the results. So try it out and tell me what you think. I think that it doesn't look as good as it did with SDR. This is with HDR on forced. So you should turn off HDR or just set it to set it to on when supported. Alright? Now, let's try out some other games. One of the best examples of this generation's HDR games is Marvel Spiderman Miles Morales. It really stands out in terms of how it supports the HDR and how good it looks. Especially when you look at the sun and everything. It just looks so bright. That's why I'm going to show you. Whether you have a PS5 or not, this will look good, alright? Let's do this. Alright, so now we're in Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. As you can see here, the HDR is turned on. Look, it's on. There it is. I turned it on so I can show you how good it looks. Then we're going to try turning it off. Well, let's swing, shall we? This is in Performance RT mode, which enables 60 FPS along with some dynamic resolution scaling and ray tracing. If you look at the sun, you see how bright it looks, but in other regions and grounds, they look just dimmer, because that's natural. The sun tends to be more brighter than the other surfaces over here. The sun really stands out in HDR. It's one of the best HDR implementations I've ever seen, so you gotta try it out on your own. But it's not just the sun. Everything, including the taxis, the cars, the color of the outfit, everything looks as good as it should be with HDR. It doesn't look as washed out as it looks better than when HDR is off, and I'm gonna show you now in a few seconds to prove that HDR is better when used on HDR supported games. Unlike GTA, when you have a game that does not support HDR, and while turning HDR on, it makes it washed out. So let's go and turn off HDR, shall we? So I'm going to turn off HDR in both the system settings as well as the game settings. Alright, and as well as in the game settings. And there we go. Now the HDR is turned off. Well, the first thing that I noticed is that the sun, alright, it still looks bright, but it's not as bright as it was before. Everything just stands out. When you look at the sun, the whole screen kind of becomes bright, and it's not how it's supposed to be. Everything is over brightened, and the colors do not match how the developers wanted them to be. Everything looks kind of more vibrant because some of the colors are not supported when HDR is turned off, and as a result, it's not how it's supposed to be. But I admit, it does look good. It's not as bad as when you turn on HDR in games that do not support HDR. So yeah, if you do not have if you do not have HDR display, you should be good to go. However, if you have an HDR display, it will make your experience better. So I highly recommend turning on HDR, as it really makes everything look different. So, to summarize, you should only use the HDR. So, to summarize everything, you should only use HDR when the game supports it. Even like on the PC side, we've got auto HDR. It does improve things. It makes SDR games look as good as HDR games. However, in PlayStation side, we do not have that feature yet. Xbox luckily do have the auto HDR feature, but Sony side does not have that. So, well, maybe in the future we will, but at the moment of recording this video, we do not have auto HDR. So we must only use HDR when the game supports it, and turn off HDR when the game does not support it. However, I've tested some games with auto HDR in the PC side, and I've tried GTA, and for some reason it does look better, but it still looks washed out. So we should turn off HDR in GTA PC edition. On the Xbox side, I'm not sure about that yet, but I'll update you when I know more about that. If you all enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe and check out my channel and share it to your friends and family, and make sure you watch this video for more contents like this. Alright guys, I'll see ya next time. So yeah, as a reminder, subscribe and ring the bell and all that good stuff about liking and commenting and sharing, and goodbye, see you next time.